You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click your live stream tab or watch us live on your smart TV on YouTube under WCEG Network. That's on YouTube under WCEG Network. I'm Wardell Richardson, your host for the next hour right here on WCEG the Hollywood of the South, where we speak life into the community. We're your worldwide empowerment group. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at WCEG underscore talk underscore radio. That's WCEG underscore talk underscore radio and WCEG Network. That's WCEG Network. Last but not least, topics and opinions are those of the show host and guests and not those of WCEG talkradio.com. Once again, I'm Wardell Richardson, your host here for the next hour. I'm an actor, producer, director, writer, host. I do a number of different things. And you can go support me by going on Amazon and checking out some of the movies that I've done. I got about 4 films on there. The 30-Day Rule, Greed, Addiction by Subtraction. Just go on there, put my name in, and all my films will come up. I'm really excited about all the work that I've done. So, and I got more coming. I'm busy filming, and guess what? I'm going to be launching my film company, Rain Dance Film, real soon, and shooting my first TV series. So I'm excited about that. That's a huge project that I've been working on. And of course, I don't say much because I like to get things ready before I start, putting it all out there. But guess what? It's coming. Rain Dance Films. Look for it. It's going to be hot. I'm getting ready to do an incredible photo shoot for it. And it's going to be one of the hottest things out. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you follow me at under official Wardell Richardson and on Wardell Richardson on Facebook. Follow me on WCEG as well because I'm everywhere. So you cannot lose me under my name, Wardell Richardson, and under WCEG Wood. Next, before I introduce my wonderful, wonderful guest, which I've been wanting to bring on here for a minute because she's doing some amazing things. I want to say that this past weekend I went to a premiere of a movie called Surviving America. Directed, written, and produced by Amiga Keys and produced by Kathy Taylor. I was hosting on the red carpet as well as helping out with the entire project. And when I tell you that project is incredible, it was a very emotional piece. It's a biography about the history of Black people. And it goes all the way from slavery all the way up to now with commentaries from different famous people, attorneys, actors, actresses, a lot of things that they've experienced here in Atlanta and other places in the country. So you have got to go watch it. It's on Amazon. It's called Surviving America. When I watched it, I thought I knew a lot about Black history, but that told me a whole nother aspect that I didn't even know about. And I learned a lot from watching it. It was very emotional to watch. It was something that needed to be seen, especially after what's been going on right now with police brutality and all kind of different things that's been happening around with Black people. It seemed like we're targeted for everything, but we strong people. And I think that's why we're targeted, because we're so strong. So keep that in mind when you watch it. Please go on Amazon Prime and check that out, Surviving America. It's a really, really nice project. You won't be disappointed. If you've seen a Black history movie before, trust me, you haven't seen one like this one. Omega Keys killed it. She's an incredible female filmmaker, and she's probably one of the best that I've seen so far. And you have to go and check her out. So make sure you go check that out. Amazon Prime, Surviving America. Also, please keep in mind, it is still a pandemic out here. So just because you took the, what is it? It's just because you took the medicine for the virus, please don't think that you can just walk around with no mask on, okay? It does not stop you from getting the virus. It just help you get through it if you catch it. So make sure you remember that. Okay. There, there's a lot of people now that just walk around here. I'm just lost in my words today. They done took it and now they feel like that they're immune to it. And that's not the truth. So be careful out here in these streets. Please be careful out here in these streets. It is still going on. People have been really sick from it. People have died from it. It is a serious, serious virus. So please keep yourself safe. Most important thing, keep yourself safe and keep other people around you safe. All right. With that being said, I want to introduce to you a woman who I've been following for a long time. She's doing some amazing things. I love going on her Instagram page. She has the best motivational speeches, and she just talks so well and speaks such life. I just love going on her page. In fact, she don't know this, but I go on her page every morning just to get a little peel from something that she said. So I had to bring her on the show. She is an actress. She is a motivational speaker. She is a life coach. Introducing to you, Miss Robyn Davis. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. That just made my day. I didn't know that.
I know you didn't. I just want to surprise you, throw that in there, because when I go on your page, you say some very inspiring, very uplifting things. And I think in the day and age that we are now, people need to hear that. People need to understand, that there's still a possibility. There's still a chance, that we can still get through this, Just because we're down don't mean we can't come back up. In fact, the only way you can go when you're down is up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to let you speak more on that. First, I want people to know a little bit about your history, where you from, and if you're not from Georgia, how did you get to Georgia?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am originally from Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, from the Midwest.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, small town, but still a big enough city where some people know and are familiar with Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, Indiana. So Fort Wayne, Indiana. Went to school at Indiana University and graduated from there with an economics and criminal justice degree.
Wow.
Then moved to Indianapolis and always had my dream of modeling since I was about 15.
Really?
Yeah, since I was 15 years old. But I'm going to say this, coming from a small town with big dreams, it's hard to do.
I was going to ask, that was going to be one of my questions.
Yes. So it's hard to pursue because you have what I call the small town mentality.
Right.
So everything, modeling, acting, any big dream is Hollywood, New York, big cities. Really didn't know too much about Atlanta, when I was younger, but you only see those things on television. So being a model was always in the back of my mind and it just stayed there. So I decided to jump into corporate America because that's what you do, right? You go to college, the plan, right? You go to college, you get your degree, and you jump into corporate America. So I moved to Indianapolis, stayed there for about 2 years, and I said, okay, I'm done. I need to pursue my career. So I asked for a job transfer because I wanted to have a little stability. And then I moved to Atlanta in 2006.
So why Atlanta? Because, modeling is big in New York.
Yes, big in New York. Yes. I had a friend out here who said, hey, come to Atlanta. Come to Atlanta. Just drop your things. Of course, still small town mentality. No, I don't think I should do it. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to go out here and do it. And then in 2006, I started to familiarize myself with Atlanta. Still didn't know about the film industry. I don't think it was live and kicking yet then, but I researched and I said, okay, there are some modeling opportunities out here. There are agencies out here. So let me do it. And again, small town mentality. I didn't know anybody in New York, didn't know anybody in LA. I just felt like I wasn't mature enough to go somewhere where I didn't know anybody at the time.
Okay.
So I came to Atlanta. And it was difficult transitioning.
That's a huge change.
It was a huge change. It took me a minute to get it together, prioritize, and also how to network properly. I'm going to say in my 20s, let me say this. I'm going to keep it real, naive. Okay. So if you sold me a dream or told me about a dream and tried to sell it to me, I was going to buy it. Okay. And I really had to focus and try to do things the right way and not swindled and taken advantage of, basically.
So did you come by yourself or?
I did. I came by myself, packed all my stuff up. And yeah, just decided to go.
Said, I'm gonna just go for it.
I'm just gonna go for it because, again, in the modeling industry, once you hit a certain age, they kind of look at you a little different. Even if you look younger, once you say your age.
Hey, but black don't crack now.
I know, right? Right. But still, it's still in the back of their heads. So I had a great, I'm going to be honest, I had a great career doing that because eventually I left my corporate job and for a while, modeling was the only thing paying bills.
Really?
So so I was lucky enough to stay consistent, especially in trade shows, modeling for Maggie London and London Times, and was just able to be consistent. Tony Bowles, he does all of the designs, all the dresses for Miss USA.
Right.
So just doing that, I was able to do it full time.
Wow, you were blessed because a lot of people come here to model and they just can't seem to grasp it.
That's right. And I was able to grasp it eventually, like I said, and get with an agency and go from there. And then acting kind of just fell in my lap. And again, I don't want to go off tangent, but I was at a party one time and a guy came we were just talking and I said, you know what, I think I want to pursue acting. And he said, what, you're kind of tall. And, tall people don't get a lot of jobs. And I fed into that.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard a lot of things. But it's all just people that's hating. But continue.
Yeah. But I believed that for a while until I took my first acting class with Professional Acting Studios with Nick Conti.
Okay.
And he said something very simple. He said, you know a lot of the technical stuff, where to look, how to move, things like that. And I said, oh, really? I was really excited because I'm like, maybe I do have a chance at this.
Right.
So I just kind of fell into acting. Especially when Atlanta started to grow as far as the industry.
Right. And you got picked up for several commercials, Walmart and Pepsi. Like those are some huge commercials.
Yeah, Walmart and Pepsi with Luke Kuechly from the North Carolina Panthers. That was my huge commercial. I was blessed to do that a couple of years ago. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you got into modeling, because you was in Indianapolis,
Yes.
and decided to move to Atlanta.
Yes.
Total change, complete different atmosphere down
That's
here.
right.
And you get here and you decide to jump into modeling first. When you got into modeling, what was your biggest challenges? Because I used to model. I'm born and raised here in Atlanta, and I'm 6'5". So I used to do a little modeling and things. And when I tell you, I got so many bogus people just trying to do all kind of stuff and say anything they can to get what they can get out of you. Yes. It was very interesting.
Yes. Yes. That happened a lot. Because I started in the video modeling industry here in Atlanta.
Music videos,
didn't like it.
Okay.
Didn't like it at all. Especially then, a lot of it, and God bless any lady who is a video model and does well. God bless you. But some of the things that were required of us, I just wasn't doing. I just knew that wasn't my thing. And I didn't have an agent at the time. So I was doing a lot of freelance, independent stuff.
Right.
But once I got an agency, once I got an established agency and under my belt, I was able to get legit auditions. And then, if you're a model out in Atlanta, if you're not modeling for America's Mart, hey, that's it in Atlanta, America's Mart.
Right. America's Mart,
that's where all the major designers are. So once I started modeling for America's Mart, it was consistent. Once they got to know me, I was able to just kind of stay in my little comfort zone of America's Mart.
How tall are you?
I am going to say that I'm measuring at 5'8".
You're gonna say that.
I'm gonna keep that back. Let me say this. The funny thing is I auditioned one time for the Ebony Fashion Fair.
Okay.
And they flew me out to Chicago. I was so excited about it. But these girls were super tall, 5'10", 5'11".
Really?
One girl who was 6 foot, and they measure you to the T.
Right.
Your height, they measure your hips. You have to be certain measurements. And I was too short.
Really?
Yes, I was too short. They wanted 5'10" and above.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh, that's
crazy. Because you would think being 5'8", because when you put your heels on, and most models wear heels, you what, 5'10", 5'11"?
They said take those heels off. Take those heels off. And once I took the heels off, these girls were measuring without heels, 5'10", 5'11".
Oh, wow.
Foot. There was one girl who was 6 feet tall without heels. Yes. And I literally felt 5'5".
Wow. Now, what did that do to your self-esteem? Because I'm sure that kind of messed you up for a moment.
It did. When you're in your 20s, you are extremely motivated. And extremely ambitious. You just want to, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're in the entertainment business, you want to book, you want to make money, you want to move up the ladder. So rejection was foreign to me, and I didn't know how to accept it. And once you get flown out to audition for Ebony Fashion Fair, you already feel a certain
like
way.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You got this confidence about
you. Got this confidence level, like, right. Okay, I'm here. I arrived. Let's go.
Wow.
But once they measure, and she whispered the measurements to the individual at the time who was over Ebony Fashion Fair, and whispered the measurements, including my hip size.
Your hip size wasn't?
Hips were too wide.
Really?
Yep.
Hey, that's a Black woman right there. There ain't nothing you can do about that.
Yes.
Black women have some hips now.
my hips weren't going anywhere. I don't care if I gain weight over the years, you lose weight. My hips were just not going. I don't care how much I exercise. But you have to be in that industry, especially runway. You have to meet certain sample sizes, because they make the designers make the dresses for the models, not vice versa. They're not going to take your measurements and then design. They're going to design with samples, and then you have to fit that. Yeah.
Wow. So you got all the way up there just for them to tell you that you were too short and your hips was too wide.
That's right.
And they had to fly, and you just flew back.
Yes, they flew me back. They flew me back to was I in Atlanta at the time? I think I was in Atlanta at the time.
Okay. Yeah. But in Atlanta, you were perfect height for whatever you was trying to do, right?
Because this is more of a commercial market.
Exactly. Right.
This is more of a commercial. And Chicago was commercial. I made it to the kind of the last running of 4 models in Chicago for their commercial division. But there was no way, based off of my measurements, I could do runway. But Atlanta, yes, Atlanta is a commercial market. Hey, grits and catfish and you know what else? They accept all that here, right? The girls are going to be, you know, not tiny slim like in New York and California. So it's more accepted. But I still did. I can go on and on and on about modeling. They still did their measurements and still said that my hips were too wide and I was still too short for a lot of
Really? Wow. But you have the look though. So I'm sure that because you have the look, that got you past a lot of the, you know, hoopla when it came.
Yeah, a lot of things were, you know, just, you know, how you look, you know, as superficial as that might sound, but that's just the industry. And also personality too.
Yep. Personality. That gets you a long way.
And being in the South, that Southern hospitality means something.
Yes, it does.
When you go in, they don't want that New York and LA superficial stuff.
Right.
You still have to remind yourself you're in the South. So they want someone who is going to have personality and is nice. So that took me a ways, you know.
Okay. So at some point, like you said, you went to a party, you met this guy, you said you wanted to get into acting. What was it that caught your attention with acting?
What was it? I don't think it was just one thing. Again, going back to my childhood, I was infatuated with television.
Right. Yeah.
I was infatuated with television. Television was my getaway, was my escape. I didn't want to go outside. I wanted to watch TV. So I always just had that in me, but just put it to the side.
Right.
Put it to the side because again, it was just a dream. It was so once I got here and started networking and started meeting some folks, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm meeting some people out here that do great things, you know. So maybe this could be something I could do and really do. So once I got out here and started networking, I said maybe I can really do this as a career.
And you did, and so you decided to jump into it. Now, I read that you know, start doing like we said earlier, Walmart commercials.
Yes.
Because Atlanta, you can literally live off doing commercials here in Atlanta. And when I first got into acting, I didn't realize so many commercials were shot here.
Several.
Several. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is it. This is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a living off of that. And like I said, I did the Walmart and Pepsi was the major one, but the side of acting is, sometimes you get into casting offices and you have to go several times sometimes to get the booking.
Yeah, you're right.
So the Walmart and Pepsi commercial that I did, I auditioned for that casting office, I'm going to say probably 15 times.
Oh, wow. Before they actually cast you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
15 times for different spots. And they finally booked me for this one. And it was because of the way I said one line. I talked to the director. He pulled me to the side and he said, I booked you because you said this one line a certain way.
Wow. Sometimes it takes just that. Sometimes it takes just that one thing.
Sometimes it takes just that one thing. But with the acting world, you gotta take it all. You gotta be able to take the rejections. You have to be able, they're not really rejections. They could be several reasons why you're not booking something.
Right.
First refusal, some people don't know what that is, but
right.
You're laughing because you know exactly what it is, right?
Yeah. Right.
You're kind of sitting and waiting, and they're deciding, are they going to choose you or choose someone else?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or if they check for your avail, you're like, oh, they check for my availability, I booked it.
Right.
Check for your availability, you don't book it.
Right. Or they just choose somebody. It could be about your height, because I've had that issue. In fact, I auditioned for a film, I killed it, but they didn't cast me because I would overshadow the actual lead person in the film. They said you would just overpower them. So
yeah, so, but that's the real.
Right.
That is the truth. And I wish there was a network or a group, or maybe I'll put something together. I don't know. Maybe we can do something together, Wardell.
Oh yeah, definitely. Where you got the height and everything. I'm just like, okay.
No, where we actually talk about those things.
Right.
That sometimes actors need to get off their chests. How do you feel and how do you deal with first refusals, checking the avail, and not booking, not being chosen for
right.
Maybe the audition, it just didn't go how you wanted it to go.
Right.
Several other reasons. I wish there was more of a network where we can be open, because I think it's a silenced thing when it comes to act, like you just audition
right.
and move on, but sometimes you internalize some of that stuff, and I think us as actors and artists need to get that out and be able to have a community where we can talk about those things.
Well, the one thing about anything in the entertainment industry, it is a cutthroat business.
Right.
And if you don't have the security within yourself to understand that, you're going to find yourself going into this loophole. But you got to understand, and I tell this to almost everybody who I talk to, when you don't get a role, it ain't always about you. Sometimes you can fumble on an audition. I've done it before. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you can kill the audition and still don't get the role. It'd be some other reasons why. So, but then you can get those. I remember I auditioned for a movie, and it was for a light-skinned guy with dreads. Mm-hmm. And I got that role.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, you give me they said, yeah, we rewriting the whole thing because you did it exactly the way we wanted it.
Right.
So they rewrote it, to fit my description.
Yes.
And sometimes they'll do that, so it's all, you never know what you're going to get. So you just have to, have some kind of confidence within yourself. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to understand that it's just the nature of the business. It's not you, it's a whole bunch of different things that come into play when they choose who's going to play a role.
That's right.
And I honestly didn't understand that until I became a casting director. And I started casting for films, and I really got to understand and see what people look at when they go to audition. And I think when you're in this business, you should try to step into other people's feet, in other people's shoes, just to see how things look from the other side.
Yes.
And it will make you appreciate everything that you've done thus far. Because I get it now. Now, I go do an audition and I'm just like, well, they call me, they may not call me, I don't know. And that's the attitude you have to have.
That's exactly what you have to have. Yeah.
Now, what's been your most exciting part about acting?
Getting the critiques, whether they were good or bad, from casting directors,
okay,
and from acting coaches.
Okay.
I have one coach that I haven't been in to see in a while because of COVID.
Right.
She every time she was hardcore, and I did a lot of on camera work with her, and she would say at the end of each take that we did, "You are so good." And I needed that. And it wasn't like, oh, I didn't walk out the room like, now I'm going to kill it out here. And obviously, I mean, I don't know if I've met Danny DeVito's 200 auditions yet. So I don't know where I'm at, but
right.
I may be close, but I needed that.
Right.
Because I lost somewhere along the line that passion, and so I went back into acting classes, and I just needed something and someone to say, you got a chance.
Right.
To me, that meant you have a chance, you have a shot, keep going.
Right.
Don't quit. Just those simple words meant all of that to me.
Right.
And that's what I love. And just being on set.
It's just something about it, right?
It's something about just being on set and being in the moment that just gets me just extremely excited.
That was a point of time when I was acting that I got to a point where I almost decided I wanted to just quit because it was so many people just saying stuff but not delivering. And you go and do these projects and take time off and be on set for all this time. And then when at some point they just stop production because something went wrong.
That's right.
Or you finish and you never see the project ever again, I guess, and it's so many things that come into play with that. So I got to a point, and then I was working with this film company, and I got to a point where I said, you know what, I'm kind of just flushed out, because I was doing theater, I was doing film, I was just doing it all, and I had just got into producing and everything, and it was just a lot of work. And I think it was a mixture of being frustrated and being, just overwhelmed all at the same time. So I actually stopped acting for about a year. And I got this phone call and for a role in a domestic violence film. And when they told me the role, I said, and they were like, Wardell, we know you can do this, you know, da 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 da. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Did it, and one of the woman who played opposite me, which is how I actually got back into film. She said, "Why did you stop?" She said, You can't keep all that, all that, you just got so much to let you gotta keep going. You gotta keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I don't even think she knew she was part of the reason why I jumped back into it. And I literally just revamped my whole self. Just took the time and I think you need to take them breaks at times, because I took a flush, and then I came back hitting the ground running. At this point, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how I wanted to do it. I knew at some point I'm gonna have my own film company. I need to do this and I need to do that to learn different things. So, it was an enlightenment for me, and I became a better person after I came back.
Yeah.
So the reason I was bringing that up was, have you ever got to a point where you felt like you just wanted to just quit and
yes,
and start just leave it all alone,
yes,
but something later just reeled you right back in?
Yes. I want to thank I have several coaches that have helped me throughout the way, but
Okay.
I wanted to tell Kia Ishmael right now, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
Kia
for
Ishmael
calling me and saying, "Hey, are you still acting? Are you still?" Because when she called, it was dead. I went back into corporate America for a couple of years and just completely forgot about it. And she called me and I'm like, yeah, because she was in my mind and I'm like, yeah. And who is this again? No. I totally forgot it. And she put that spark back in.
Right. Wow.
And once I started, because she started her own acting business, and once I started working with her again, that's when that spark came back.
Wow.
That's what I needed. That's what I needed.
Wow.
I left for a couple of years. Let me tell you something about leaving. Let me tell you something about leaving this business again.
Right.
All the people, all the actors that I would see in auditions, and we'll run into, all of those people are now doing great things.
Yes, that is true. That's very true. They stayed with it.
Because they stayed with it and they kept going.
Right.
It is it is a must for people to know that you have, no matter what,
right,
you have to keep going.
Yes, you do.
And it was very painful for me to now get that spark back and see all these people that were coming along with me. Now it's a surpass thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because something in my mind, again, mindset,
right,
that said, nah, just do corporate America, I'm making all this money, comfortable, do that. But until I got that phone call from Kia, I said, okay, I'm back in.
Yeah. And for me, when I got back in, I told you they asked me to do a domestic violence film. The name of that film was The Last Time, which got me this radio show, which got me like several awards.
That's awesome.
It was aired on TV for 3 years. That one project put me, I got back in and just went to a whole nother level, like right off that one project. And sometimes people say it only take that one,
yes,
to get you recognized, and you got to stick with it. Once it happens, you got to stick with it because things gonna start coming. And when I did that project, literally everything that I was trying to do before, when I decided to quit, it all just took off, you know. And Penny, who is the owner of this radio station and everything, that's how she went to the premiere. She saw me. They interviewed me and offered me this show. So I was like,
that is awesome.
It is amazing how God just say, look, you're not done. You know, you have to, I'm gonna line this up for you, and you got to take it and you got to keep running.
That's right.
You know, so at some point you got into being a life coach. Now, I got a lot of questions about being a life coach because there is so many people I know that all of a sudden they know all about life.
Yes.
And so now they are a life coach. And I'm just like, how do you just become a life coach just because you read a book or you just saw something on TV and it just, I can teach this and be a life coach. Right. So I'm before we get deep into it, I need to ask you, is there a qualification class or something to become a life coach?
Yes. There are several certifications that you can do to be certified. It is not required for any life coach to be certified. But what you have to keep in mind is that you cannot cross the line of being a counselor or therapist.
Right.
You just cannot do it. So to answer your question, yes, anybody can be a life coach. Say I'm a life coach, and then just kind of just boom, go from there. I'm a life coach. Okay. I decided to take the certification because I wanted to make sure that I at least have some type of structure under me.
Right.
And I just don't want to go out there just thinking that I just know everything about life. And that's the thing, to answer your question. No, all life coaches don't know everything about life.
Right.
We're humans and people, and we go through things just like anyone else. And we are not God. We are not saying, and I can speak for myself, that we just know everything about life. It's that we have been through it just like any other human being. And all we're doing is helping facilitate and change someone else's life. Because
is that what made you?
Well,
is that what made you want to become a life coach?
Yes. So what really ultimately, I always knew that I wanted to do something like life coaching, but I didn't always know what life coaching was, and that there was a title to it. I knew I wanted to help people. I knew that I wanted to coach people and be a motivational speaker. I just didn't know how to do it. So I will tell you, I was a teacher for an instructor for Barbizon Modeling and Acting School.
Okay.
And they have a curriculum. Yeah, they have a curriculum where, you teach children how to walk the runway, how to do on camera auditions. You teach them just certain things. And what I was finding myself doing was taking that curriculum away and kind of create my own. And I started to focus on a lot of self-confidence with the kids, or just, let's take the curriculum away and let's just talk.
Right.
And, come to find out, I was changing a lot of these kids' lives. Like I would see them later or outside of Barbizon, and they would come up to me and say, "You literally changed my life for the better."
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. So it was always in me. And then I became an agent, a life insurance agent.
Okay.
And what I have found out.
Now that's something new. I've never heard of a life Okay, wait a minute. Life insurance. That on different thing. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So
Go ahead.
I don't mean to be jumping all over the place, but yes, and then life insurance made me again say, okay, a lot of people don't understand the value,
The importance. Oh, yeah.
and the importance.
I used to do that too, just so you know. Well,
Oh, did you? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But there aren't, let me just say, there aren't a lot of good mentorship programs for agents. So
Right.
as you said, that everybody wants to call themselves a life coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to call themselves an insurance agent, but are not really qualified to be
Right.
an insurance agent. So what I found out when I was selling life insurance was that people's mindsets weren't where they needed to be as far as how they were valuing their life. So a lot of my conversations were very emotional conversations by saying, hey, do you value your family? Do you value your life?
Right.
So again, that hit, and I said, okay, I really do want to become a life coach, but I need something structured. So I decided to get my certification.
Got you. And so there is a certification. Okay, that's good to know because like I said, I just knew people are just popping up out the blue saying they're a life coach.
That's right.
And I said, dude, how you what? so so I was confused, and I think it confused some other people because I had some other people say, "How do you become a life?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm assuming there's a class, something you can take, but all these people can be life coaches. So how important is it to have someone that is licensed compared to someone who isn't? Is there any importance in that, or can a person who haven't went to school still be a life coach and do well?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to have a certification. I will just say that. And there are great world-renowned coaches that don't have a certification. They just took what they knew and turned it into something major. And you don't have to have a certification. So just think about it. You don't have to have a certification to change someone's life.
No, yeah, you don't. That's true.
I didn't have a certification when I was changing those kids' lives.
Right.
For the better. I didn't have a certification then, but they were coming up to me saying, "You changed my life."
Right.
So,
and that's the part about you that I said in the beginning. Like when I go on your page, you just have these, this way of saying things that make people, that uplift people and give them, hope. If you're having a bad day, you're just going through some stuff, a person can just go on your page, and I want y'all to hear me saying this, go check her page out when she give you the information later. You can go on your page and get that fulfillment that they need just from a lot of the things you say, because you speak on a lot of different things, and give different messages all through your Instagram page. So what got you doing that? What made you feel like you needed to like give something back consistently in that way?
Well, because I suffered from low self-esteem. I suffered from what I call the they syndrome. And that's something that I made up, listening to other people try to tell you how to live your life. Corporate America is extremely guilty of that. Family members, friends, we listen to other people, and then based off of what they say, we decide how to live our lives. And I've been doing that for years, and it is very destructive. And it causes you to live your life for other people.
Yes, it does. It does.
So I knew that there were people out there that didn't know how to pursue their dreams, that didn't know how to get out of that circle of listening to other people tell them how to live their lives. I know how that feels. I did it for years. That's why I'm such a late bloomer, because, you know, I put my dreams on hold because someone told me to go to college, get a job, retire, and then, you know, that's life.
Right.
Instead of saying, no, I want to model. I knew I wanted to model at 15. I knew that was a passion. That never went away. I knew that at 15, but because I decided to go down a path that other people were going down, I thought that was the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah. You know, I had somebody tell me before that he was doing it big in the industry, you know. And he said, you know what, you need to quit working out. You're getting too big. Ain't nobody gonna want to cast you. That's what he told me. Not even a few years after that, I'm on his page and he getting ripped, like getting huge muscle. I said, didn't he just tell? And that's when I knew. I said, okay. So people, they'll say stuff to you to just throw you off.
That's right.
You know, because they see something in you that can possibly be better than what they have.
That's
and
right.
So they'll just throw you off so that they can get one on you and can get ahead. And when I saw that, I said, man, this is crazy. You know, and, you know, because I kind of listened to him for a second because this guy was doing it, you know.
Yes.
But then when I saw him getting all buff and ripped and everything, I said, look at this, you know, and I continued doing what I was doing. You know, so I think the first thing we have to do is be confident in ourselves. And I say that all the time. You know, we have to have confidence in ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves. We can't listen to other people, you know, filtering in our ears and stuff. And you just have to go for it. Like, this is just one of those industries where you just never know. You just never know what can happen.
That's right.
You know, I did an audition the other day. And I hate doing video auditions. I tell people that all the time. I can't stand doing video auditions. It is just, I hate it. And so I would rather be in person and do it. But I recently did a video audition and they hired me right on the spot. He said, man, you're good. He said, you the one. We got you. We locking you in. And I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, well, I know you probably got to go meet with some other people. He said, oh, no, they trust me. It's done. You're the guy, you know. And so I said, okay, great, you know. And so my whole feeling about it kind of changing a little bit. I'm like, okay, maybe I can get used to it, you know, because I just hate it. I always hated doing video auditions. I'm a person that likes to just show up and do my thing and be gone. You know, I think it's just something different about when they see you in the flesh.
In person, yes.
Right. Because I'm so, when they see you in the video, they still can't really tell how tall you are, you know, things like that. And then you show up to set and stuff, and then you towering over the person opposite you, which, you know, I've seen.
That's why I prefer self-tapes. Especially when you have a husband and they line you up, and I'm like, uh-oh.
But you know what? I learned also that it's all about how they angle the camera.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
they do it all the time.
If you know, when I can't remember the movie, but I think it was Gabriel Union who played opposite this guy, and I can't remember his name. He was a white guy, and I knew that guy was shorter than she was. He was a short guy.
Yes.
So in the entire movie, every time they played their role, they were sitting down or laying down or something. And then there's this one scene they had where they were standing face to face. And when the guy walked out there, she was standing in the grass and he was standing on the sidewalk.
Wow.
And I just happened to look. I said, oh, that's smart. That's smart, because I'm a filmmaker as well. I notice certain things that other people don't notice, but that's how they made them be almost level.
Yes.
And I said, man, that was very smart.
I know they do that
smart.
for Gabrielle, and I'm pretty sure they do that for Nicole Kidman too, because she's tall.
Oh yeah, she's tall. Yeah, she's tall. So, you know, us tall people got a chance. You know, that's what I learned. Is that us tall people have a chance.
They do. They do.
So we got about 5 minutes left in the show. It seems like the show goes so fast when you're enjoying the interview. Fast. I'm sitting here like, man, we got 5 minutes. So
that was a fast hour.
If you could give any bit of advice to anybody who's listening, what would that be?
I always end my videos, if you haven't noticed, by saying life, value, power.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that your life, it is your life that you must value, whether it is financial freedom that you're trying to find, whether it is self-confidence that you're trying to find, whether it's your family that you're trying to put back together or make the best out of whatever your situation is. Value your life, whatever that may be, and the end result will always be power.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, that's deep the way you put it. Like that's very deep. I like that. Say that one more time so people can hear that, because I like how you orchestrated that.
Yes. So life, value, power. Always value your life, no matter what it is, no matter what your situation is. Remember, value it. Your life is the most important thing that you can value. So once you start to realize the value of your life, you gain power.
Wow, that's incredible. I love that. Now, and there's one question I did not ask you that I normally ask every actress or actor who come on here.
Yes.
And that is, if you were offered a role, any role that, and it was that dream role for you, that role, somebody called you and said, I got this role for you and it's this, and you're just like, oh my God, I've always wanted to do that. Yeah. What role would that be?
A badass, destructive kind of female detective.
Really?
Yes. Where I just want to come into an interrogation room and slam down the manila folder and say,
and just get in them.
And just get in them.
You know what's funny?
Headshots a little bit so I can. Yeah.
But see, that's good though, because you know what's funny is that most women always want to be some type of hardcore something. It could be a superhero. It could be a killer.
Yes.
It could be almost every woman want to be something bad. I said, what is it with that? What is it with that? What makes you? Is it because it's something totally opposite of you and it's going to?
Yes, it's totally opposite because I'm always getting the mom roles, the wife, the nice wife, the nice mom, you know, in commercials. And it's very rare that you get that script where you can play that individual.
Wow.
For a lot of women. I know.
Yeah. So let people know how they can contact you if they want to reach out to you.
So Instagram, I have a business page, which is Robyn Yvette Life Coaching. So that's Robyn, ROBYN, and then my middle name, Yvette, EVETTE, Life Coaching, all one word. And then I also have another Instagram page, Robyn Yvette, and then also my Facebook. But to book a life coaching session, you can go to www.robynyvette.com.
All right, then. You heard it directly from Robyn Yvette. Listen, thank you for coming on. You were awesome. I feel like we could just sit down and talk forever about different things. Right? But I appreciate you for coming on. Listen, people, this is someone who you need to follow, Robyn Yvette. Make sure you go check her out and listen to her. Just go through her Instagram pages and listen to her messages. They're incredible. They're uplifting, informative, things you need to know, things to help you get through the day, you know, because sometimes God sends you messages through other people, you know, and you just have to be in tune with that, you know. So just go to her page, check it out. I go to her page quite often. She doesn't know I go on there all the time, just looking at the messages. Sometimes I read the same messages over and over again, or listen to them, because
awesome.
that particular message does something to me. So, please go check her out, Robyn Yvette. She gave you all her information. This is Wardell Richardson on WCEG The Hollywood of the South. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Robyn, thank you so much once again. You were awesome. And we're going to do some work together. We're going to do some work together.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. So I am ready for that, because I'm already thinking some stuff in my head. So, so we're going to do some work together. On that note, thank you guys once again for tuning in. God bless you and have a great day. Peace.